So now on this one, they want us to, simplify and make your final answer one fraction. Okay, so I'll just bring this down. This is, in fact, I'm just going to go S. I abbreviate sign as S. Oops, bumping the thing there. S plus, and then cotangent. Now, what's cotangent? Well, remember, tangent is sine over cosine, and cotangent is cosine over sine. So cotan right here, that's going to be cosine over sine times, and then cosine, that's just cosine. Good so far? So I broke everything down, as it says, in terms of sine and cosine. So I just broke everything down in terms of sine and cosine so that I can begin to simplify things. Now, when you have whole numbers or whole letters, in this case, interacting with fractions, what you want to do is put those over 1, because that doesn't change anything, does it? Dividing by 1 never changes anything. Sine over 1 is the same as sine, or cosine over 1 is the same as cosine. And now it hasn't changed, but now it looks like a fraction. That makes it easier to do the fraction problems. Okay, so what does this give us? This is sine over 1 plus, and what happens here? Well, these are multiplying, aren't they? So cosine times cosine is cosine squared, and sine times 1 is just sine. We good to there so far? So all I've done is I've just written cotangent is cosine over sine, brought down the sine, brought down the cosine, and then put the sine and cosine over 1 because they're interacting with fractions, doesn't change them. And then top times top, bottom times bottom on the fraction that's multiplying. So now I need to add these together. Why? Because they said make your final answer one fraction. Make it one fraction. So how am I going to add those together to make them one fraction?
Common denominator.
I've got to make a common denominator again, don't I? Make a common denominator. So I'm going to have to come in here and multiply S, top and bottom. And I don't have to do anything to the second fraction, huh? Because he's already got the right common denominator. Everybody see that? See how I've only got to mess with the fraction on the left, and I don't have to do anything with the fraction on the right? And see how both denominators now will be sine, S sine? Because this is just sine times 1, which is sine, and this already is sine. So now what do we have? Sine times sine, that's sine squared, over sine times 1, which is sine, plus cosine squared over sine. That one hasn't changed at all. And now I can combine them into one fraction because they have the same denominator. That's why we make the two fractions have the same denominator so that we can write them as one big fraction. Everybody see how that works? Two separate fractions, same denominator, you make it one big fraction. And now, do you see it? What are we going to do? Do you see it coming? What's this top? It's the most important.
1.
What was that?
1.
Yes, element, exactly. 1 sine squared plus cosine squared. So that's the most important formula of the day. So be looking for that one. Sine squared plus cosine squared is 1. So this becomes 1 over sine. And that's it. Make your final answer one fraction. We've done it. 1 over sine x. Done. There we go. Questions on that one?